Hi there, and welcome. This talk is about NFTs. My name is Jeroen Wester. I'm with the BlockchainLab Drenthe, and today the topic is non-fungible tokens, NFTs. We're going to talk about them. What are they? Why are they so very popular at the moment? And how are you going to create them? And do a little bit of a demonstration. I think Danny will do that. There's a spoiler alert. One of the reasons that they are so popular is that people make a lot of money out of them. A few people make a lot of money out of them, and I will explain that to you. Here's one of these people. Meet Jack Dorsey. He's one of the founders of Twitter. And Twitter is, in internet terms, an old kid on the block, because it started somewhere in 2006. And on March 21st, this Jack Dorsey, he posted the first tweet on Twitter with the very informative text, "Just setting up my Twitter," March 21, 2006. 15 years later, this Jack Dorsey created a non-fungible token of this first ever tweet. And a few days later, there was an auction. People could buy this non-fungible token of the first tweet. And someone did. And that someone paid $2.9 million for this non-fungible token of the first tweet. Impressive amount of money. But it gets even crazier when you meet this second person, Michael Winkelmann, also known as Beeple, creator of art. You see a picture of that art that he created every day. He created that piece of art somewhere in June 2016. And in March 21, he created a non-fungible token of this work of art. And in the same month, that non-fungible token at an auction raised almost $70 million. Well, this amount of money for just a single token, it was to a large audience very inspirational, so to say. If people can raise that amount of money, they all want to do the same, of course. Okay, now let's talk about what is a non-fungible token. Here's a definition. A non-fungible token is a digital asset that represents a real world object, like art, music, or in-game items or videos. Here you see a photograph of the NBA. They have a very interesting non-fungible token project called Top Shot, where you can collect moments that happened in the NBA leagues. But this definition that you have a digital asset that represents something in the real world is a little bit too strict. That is what NFTs are currently used for. The application is even wider. You can use them for anything that has a unique aspect. Okay, let's talk about it. Non-fungible token. The word fungible, what does that mean? It's not clear to everybody instantly, but fungible stands for interchangeable. So a non-fungible token is something that is not interchangeable. Okay, let's dive into that. First of all, what is a token? In the crypto world, everybody talks about tokens. And not everybody is very clear and strict on that, so there's a bit of a debate on what it exactly is. But let's start with noting that a token is basically a crypto asset. So if you own Ethers, for instance, you own Ether tokens. You could say that. But usually when people talk about tokens, they talk about crypto assets that run on top of a blockchain token, on top of a blockchain. So, for instance, on top of Ethereum. So you have, for instance, the stablecoin DAI, which is an example of a popular Ethereum token. It runs on top of the Ethereum network. So you have the basic things like Ethereum, where Ether is the currency that is paid, and on top of that there is another token, in this example DAI, and you can also exchange that, but it uses the basic Ethereum technology. Okay, that's about tokens. Now let's dive into the fungible and non-fungible things. Well, fungible, as I explained before, it is interchangeable, non-unique. So when I exchange my Ether and I transfer it to you, that Ether is as good as an Ether that I receive, a different Ether that I receive from you. And well, there is no difference between them. So I don't care which Ether I own, as long as I own an Ether. With fungible things, that's different. A fungible thing is unique. So when you look at the picture here, the Starry Night picture of Vincent van Gogh, you could say, okay, it cares to me if I own this painting, and I will not likely change this painting for just any other painting, because this painting I find it very attractive or is very valuable. So paintings are not interchangeable objects. You will not pay your coffee by paintings, because not every painting is equal. While things like corn, you don't really care which corn you own, as long as it is healthy, tasty, or something like that. But then corn is just like any other corn. Okay, this is about fungible and non-fungible things. So remember, fungible, interchangeable, non-fungible, not interchangeable, unique. Let's dive a little bit into token standards, because you might come across these words like ERC20 or ERC721. What are these, and what do they have to do with fungible and non-fungible tokens? Based on a network like Ethereum, there are many different tokens. There's a long list. Just look that up on the internet and you can see there's a long list based on Ethereum. And token standards, many of these tokens are ERC20 tokens. These token standards, they help you to easily create a new token. Because what we do when you create a new token, you write a smart contract that implements the standards that are written down in the ERC20 standard. Now, the ERC20 standard stands for fungible tokens, and there's an example of non-fungible token standards. That's the ERC721 standard. We will not go into detail. That would be, but that's something for specialists. Okay. Now you know a little bit about token standards and where these words come from. Let's talk about NFTs and ownership. In the examples that I gave before, you could say, okay, there is this person that at an auction bought the NFT that is connected to the first tweet ever. Does this person now own that first tweet? And in the second example, there is this painting or this work of art that is bought, and does this person now own this work of art because this person owns the NFT that's connected to this work of art? Well, the sad answer is no, you don't own that. The work of art the copyright of the work of art still belongs to the artist. The artist created an NFT, for which the artists say, okay, this NFT stands for this work of art, but you do not own the painting. The only thing that you own when you own an NFT that is connected to a work of art is that you have this token, this crypto asset. And you probably have the keys to that token. And with these keys, you can do whatever you want with this token. You can transfer it to some other address so that somebody else owns it. But it's just that token that you own. The artist keeps the copyright. The artist can decide what to do with a work of art that's connected to this NFT. For instance, the artist can decide, okay, I created one NFT of this work of art, but now I create multiple NFTs of this work of art, and I'm going to sell these too. So the uniqueness of your first NFT could be diminished by that. But owning the token also opens possibilities to you, because you can sell that token. And if your token is considered very valuable by others, you can raise money by that. Maybe you can get very rich, probably not. Okay, why are these NFTs now so very popular at the moment? Well, here you see three possible roles connected to NFTs. First of all, on the left-hand side, there is the NFT owner. And I think that many NFT owners are into this game of NFTs because they want to speculate and they think they can get rich by owning, buying, or selling these NFTs. In the middle, there is the artists. And NFTs could be an interesting solution for these artists because it enables them to cross borders between the real and the digital world. That's interesting because a lot of things happen, of course, in the digital world, but when you create a painting, that's still in the physical world. And how can you connect to the digital world? Why? Well, actually, this NFT is a kind of connection to this digital world. You say, okay, I have this painting, this NFT token is connected to this painting, and now I try to sell and make money out of that. And the third popularity of NFTs is that when you are on the development side of things, software developers are interested in these NFTs because it can solve for them it can enable them to create new applications especially for things that are unique. Think of unique contracts or unique ownership that you want to be part of your application. Okay, suppose you own or you want to own an NFT. What do you do then? Well, probably the most simple thing is just go to an NFT marketplace. Here you see two examples, OpenSea and Rarible, and try to buy or sell these NFTs. Interesting. Completely new world. Okay, let's dive into a number of examples here. This is the last slide. Here you see three examples of popular NFTs. First of all, what would the internet be without kitties? So there is a blockchain game, CryptoKitties, which is created around the idea of NFTs. And the idea of this game is that your kitty is represented by your unique NFT, and you need to raise that kitty and take care of that kitty. And you can earn probably something like experience points or health points when your kitty does well. The second example is Top Shot of the NBA basketball. And Top Shot is an interesting place. It's actually a kind of marketplace where users can buy, sell, or collect important moments in the NBA. So, for instance, a perfectly well done slam dunk, you can have that and that moment, and that moment is then owned by you in the form of an NFT. Interesting, very interesting. You can compare that to collecting cards that you had early before, photographs of important players. Now you can really own important moments. And the last example, that's Messi, of course, and it's the Messiverse. And the Messiverse is a series of crypto artworks that you can buy, that you can own. And there's an interesting tagline in this Messiverse: the legend himself forever sculpted on the blockchain. Interesting, check that out. Well, okay, this was it. I hope you now know a little bit more about NFTs, and thank you.